Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to classic foods of the 1970s, and yeah, I mean, it's been a long time since I've reacted to this channel, and foods from the 1970s, I don't know how much it could have changed. I'm going to assume it's like certain snacks that were popular, maybe like drinks and just things like that, but we're going to check this out, and also if some of them are still, like if I know any of them to this day, if I eat some of them to this day or whatever. I assume this is solely focused on the US, like foods in the US, because these channels seem to usually be based in the US, which is, it makes sense. But we're going to check this out. Hopefully you're going to enjoy. Links are also in the description to my Patreon, where you can see reactions to movies, TV series, all that good stuff. And yeah, if you want to suggest some things for me to react that I can't watch or react on YouTube, links will be in the description to my Patreon, because you can do it there. But let's check this out and see some of these foods.
The 1970s was a time of change in many ways. It was an era of political turmoil, difficult economic times, and major changes in cars and foods. Packaged snacks became an even more popular item than ever in the 1970s. Almost every American household was interested in them, and there was a huge variety to choose from. Some items were crazy, but some were actually quite good. Many of them have changed since or have disappeared altogether.
Huh?
Here is a closer look at the classic foods from the 1970s that we all got to enjoy.
Come on.
Brands in the 70s were pretty creative, and they tried real
Space dust. Is this like popping candy? Oh, I love popping candy, or I used to anyway. Sizzling candy, popping candy, all the same.
really hard to get your attention. The banana flip is a good example of that.
Oh,
They
I
were
thought it was the popping candy. What?
made by a few snack cake brands like Nichols and Mickey's. This was essentially a yellow banana cake that was folded in a half moon and stuffed with cream filling. It really
So
looked
it's kind of like a Twinkie.
like a cake taco. You may have had
I mean, it's not like a Twinkie. It's just banana filling. It's not the same actually at all, to be honest.
a favorite snack in the 70s, and there's a good chance that it might have been made by Nabisco. Were you a fan of cheese Tidbits? These delicious snacks were in a stick form, making them a bit different from the competition. They were sold for quite a while, but they can't be found anywhere now.
Damn.
Guess we'll just have to stick with Goldfish and Cheez-Its. If you were worried about consuming calories when you snacked, then perhaps you tried these. At only 44 calories per stick, they were really as light as gravity in space. They were made by Pillsbury and trademarked in 1970.
Balanced nutrition chewy chocolate. There was a peanut butter one. Okay.
This space snack was supposed to be a nutritionally balanced stick of protein, fat, and carbohydrates. They came in 6 flavors such as chocolate, peanut butter, and caramel. They disappeared from the shelves in the 1980s. Looking at the box design today, it reminds me of something you would see on a box of dog snacks. In the 70s, there was a serious war going on between cereals.
Kellogg's was still dominating back in these times. Now ice cream in a nourishing cereal. What?
Baron von Redberry was a cereal created by General Mills around 1972 that featured a World War I era German pilot. It was presumably modeled after the real Red Baron, Manfred von Richthofen. The cereal itself consisted of berry-flavored oat cereal with sweet berry marshmallows, and it tasted strongly of fruit punch. Baron von Redberry was the nemesis of Sir Grapefellow, which was the mascot of another General Mills cereal brand. In their rivalry over which one was better, Redberry would proclaim, "Baron von Redberry is der berry goodest," and Grapefellow would counter with, "Sir Grapefellow is the grapest." Another interesting cereal from the 70s is Crazy Cow. It was first introduced by General Mills in 1976 and came in chocolate or strawberry. They basically took the Kix cereal balls and covered them in chocolate or strawberry powder, so you would have this delicious milk to drink.
Yeah, I think I'd love this. I love cereals where the milk after it's just the best part, because some cereals ruin it. Crave, which I found out recently is in the US. I used to love Crave, but it would make the cereal, like you'd have the cereal at the end and the cereal would not be nice. Like the actual cereal itself was good, but the milk at the end would not be nice. But like Cocoa Pops and stuff, like the milk at the end is the best part. And yeah, cereals like that, it's like having a milkshake at the end, you know.
Afterwards. Like any other cereal of the time, they included different enticements to try to make kids beg their moms for this cereal box.
Star Wars.
One promotional item was the Star Wars trading cards. These were highly collectible because they offered different cards than what was sold in the packs.
And I'm going to be honest, if you have one of these now, they're probably going to be worth hundreds, you know. These sort of collectible things end up being worth so much money.
Aspen was a clear apple-flavored soda that was sold across the United States by the Pepsi Company. It was first introduced in 1978, but went off the market in 1982.
Damn.
In 1984, PepsiCo came out with a replacement apple soda under its Slice line. Long before we had Google, there were Googles. These were made by Dolly Madison in the 70s, and they were a type of snack cake. They also made Cuckoos and Razzies. Part of their brilliant marketing plan included having peanut characters on their packaging, as if a kid needed any more help enticing him to have a snack or two of sweets. Cuckoos were essentially ding-dongs, and Razzies were a yellow cake version of Cuckoos. Googles are a little bit more difficult to describe. I never had one nor saw one in the store. I did try to Google Googles, but I didn't see too much on them. Nearest I could tell, they were yellow cakes with white frosting and possibly cinnamon on top. If you ever had one, let us know in the comments what you thought about them.
I feel like they look quite good.
Seem like the elusive Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster. Another product with a crazy name was
cinnamon peanut spread, banana peanut spread, chocolate peanut spread. Oh my, that banana and cinnamon one, I do not know about that. The chocolate one, I do know about that, to be fair. I literally have recently tried Nutella with peanut butter. I literally just have one bit of bread with Nutella and then one with peanut butter, like chunky peanut butter as well. Good quality as well, so it's decent. Put it together. Basically, I'm just trying to eat foods that are quite high in calories and have a bit of protein, and that's good. Obviously, it's a bit different, but the banana peanut butter spread, I don't know about that.
Kugel. This was a flavored peanut spread marketed by Kraft and released in 1971. It was available in several flavors like chocolate, vanilla, banana, and cinnamon.
Damn.
The product was meant to be placed on sandwiches, crackers, or anything else that you would put peanut butter on. The best part about it is that it wouldn't make your mouth stick together.
What?
Pizza spins may be a product you remember in the early 70s. They weren't around too long. They launched in 1968 and were pulled in
onions, burgles, or buggles, pizza spins, potato crisps.
1975, but their legend lives on. The crispy pinwheel-shaped snack took the flavors of pizza and put it into a chip form. What's better than a chip flavored with cheese, tomatoes, and other spices? It's interesting to see the box, though. The pizza has no cheese on it. Can it really be called a pizza with no cheese?
Huh?
Remember Toastettes? Long before Pop-Tarts took over the world,
Wait, so Nabisco made them before, and then Pop-Tarts just sort of got the same thing, and I guess had it at the right time or something?
there was actually a variety of toaster treats to choose from. Toastettes originally came out in 1967 from Nabisco, but were readily available in the 70s. Some people preferred them over Pop-Tarts.
Oh, so they were around at the same time.
They had a thin crust, warm center, and a light sprinkle of sugar on top. They were a great way to get your morning started. These left the market in 2002.
Oh, quite recent.
Donka toaster pastries came out in the late 60s, but remained somewhat popular throughout the 70s. They had stiff competition with other toaster breakfast items, but they were supposed to be better.
So these toaster sort of things, right, where it's like you just got a pre-made bit of jam inside, like a bit of bread that's sweet and stuff, is really popular in the US, or was. I never really liked Pop-Tarts when I had them. I don't know, it just wasn't for me, but they're obviously really popular in the US, and I mean, maybe I need to try different flavors or something, I don't know.
They seem to be marketed towards the middle-aged person who wanted more of an actual Danish pastry with buttery, flaky pie crust.
Oh, that's a bit better then.
These are certainly one snack that you can't see anymore. In 1976, Danish Rings
Just anything that you can toast, you're toasting it.
hit the market, and they were actually a replacement for the Danish go-rounds, which broke too easily. These new and improved Danish Rings were made by Kellogg's. They were a bit like Pop-Tarts, but were flakier and oval-shaped. Even though they sounded great, they never really caught on, and they were discontinued in 1980. Remember the Reggie Bar? In 1976, while playing in Baltimore, Jackson had said, "If I played in New York, they'd name a candy bar after me."
What?
Fast forward to the Yankees' home opener of the 1978 season on April 13th, and that's exactly what happened. The Standard Brands Company responded with a circular bar of peanuts dipped in caramel and covered in chocolate. It was a confection which was originally named the Wayne Bun, and it was made in Fort Wayne, Indiana. The Reggie Bars were handed out to fans as they walked into Yankee Stadium.
Damn.
Jackson hit a home run, and when he returned to the right field the next inning, fans began throwing Reggie Bars onto the field in celebration.
I love that.
The bar did not stay in play very long. Its career ended in 1981.
Not long at all.
Fruit Brute cereal was made by General Mills and was introduced in 1974. The cereal was described on the box as a fruit-flavored frosted cereal and marshmallow bits. The mascot for the cereal was a werewolf also named Fruit Brute. The cereal is long gone, but apparently Quentin Tarantino must have been a fan. It made cameo appearances in 1992's Reservoir Dogs and also the 1994 film
Oh, the food. I thought you meant the character. I was like, wait, what?
Pulp Fiction. You know, the problem with candy bars is that they just don't last long. This is something that the Mars Candy Company wanted to help out on. They introduced the Marathon Bar in 1973, and it was 8 full inches of braided caramel covered in milk chocolate. The commercials had a cowboy guy proclaiming it was a candy bar that you can't eat quickly. The bright red packaging actually featured a ruler on it so you would know exactly how long it was.
So I don't know if they're still here in the UK, but there was a very similar one to this called Curly Whirlies. And I used to get them. They were really cheap, just quite satisfying to eat. And yeah, not easy to eat either. Like, it would take a long time. But I don't know if you have them anymore. Plus, would it be the same company or anything? I don't know. They look exactly the same. I used to like them, to be fair. So
the bar was discontinued in 1981. Did you love tuna as a kid? Or maybe your mom was just trying to always serve it to you?
I like tuna.
Maybe you just wanted to try something different with your tuna. How about Tuna Twist? This rocked the world in the 1970s. The seasoning combined a blend of veggies, herbs, and spices. It came in 3 flavors: onion, cheddar, and Italian. All you had to do was add your can of tuna, mayonnaise, and a pack of Tuna Twist. The product was marketed as a meal extender, and it could turn 4 sandwiches into 6. The commercials at the time were pretty catchy too. I'm Sir Celery. I'm Miss Parsley. We're the Onion Twins. A tuna taste, fresh as a garden. There was one small problem with Tuna Twist, which turned into a big problem. It contained a textured vegetable protein that made people sick, and the product was removed from the shelves.
Wow.
How about
what an absolute failure. Mug-O lunch. Okay.
some Muggo lunch? It was exactly how it sounds. Add the ingredients to a mug, then just add boiling water and wait 4 minutes. This meal was introduced in 1976 by Betty Crocker, so it had to be good, right? It came in a few different varieties like macaroni and cheese, spaghetti, and beef noodles with gravy. Nowadays, the modern microwave versions make this seem less amazing.
I mean, I'll just stick to my pot noodles and I'm good, you know.
Remember concentrate cereal? This wasn't new in the 70s, and it was made by Kellogg's and was released in 1959, but it still sold until the late 1970s when it was removed from the shelves. If you were a kid, then you probably stayed away from it as it looked like some type of goldfish food, but your parents might have eaten it. It was promoted as the greatest concentration of nutrients ever offered in a single all-purpose food.
I mean, if it's from Kellogg's, I would strongly say that's not true, but...
If you were having a
Oh, not sprayed cheese.
dinner party in the 70s, all you really needed as a snack was some crackers and Nabisco's Snack Mate cheese.
Cheddar, chive, green onion, American, French onion. I can't read the last 2.
It was introduced in 1966, but it remained really popular throughout the 70s. Everyone always felt like a professional confectionery trying to spray the cheese, and if you were really daring, you could just go straight for your mouth. The product can still be
See, I was sent sprayed cheese. I tried a little bit of it, but I couldn't hack it, man. It made me cringe, and I was like, nah. Oh.
found, but they have changed the name to Easy Cheese.
Oh, okay.
Huge shopping malls were all over the place in the 70s. They were the perfect place to get all your shopping done and also grab a little bite to eat. If you were having a party, then maybe you stopped by the Hickory Farm store for some delicious snacks. Not only could you get cheese, crackers, and a sausage roll, but you could also get one of their chocolate bars. Nowadays, malls seem to be disappearing, and so are the Hickory Farm stores. But at least some of the snacks can still be found. Packaging in the 70s was completely different. Ding dongs came wrapped in foil.
What? This was the packaging? Wait, no, this cannot be true. This is what you're buying? No. That is crazy.
Con swirls had a foil bottom, and chocolate pudding came in a tin can. Something about that just seemed to make it taste better. And how about Swanson's TV dinners? They weren't new, and they have their roots back in the 40s and the 50s, but they came on aluminum trays too. With more dual-income households, Mom had less time to cook. Pop these things in the oven, and 45 minutes later, you had a good meal.
Damn.
The crazy thing is, we never really thought about having to wait that long to eat. Kids nowadays really just don't understand the struggle we had to go through. And if your peas got in your cherry dessert, it was like a
Wait, this is a dessert? Oh, God, it's all in one, really.
free game of operation trying to get that out.
Oh,
Heaven
God.
forbid your green beans got mixed in and baked with your brownie.
Oh, no.
I hope you enjoyed this little look at some of the long-lost snacks of the 1970s.
I really did, actually. I love looking at these videos, just a throwback of to how different things were. If you grew up in the 70s or the 80s or the 60s and you had these kinds of foods, let me know, because I mean, maybe there are some that I'm missing, or some of these were very good and you missed them or whatever, but there we go. And there is actually one for the 80s, so maybe I'll have to check that one out next. But hopefully you enjoyed, and until next time, peace.